Hello everyone. Is going abroad a dream of yours? Have you tried appearing for IELTS several times but never cleared it? Or are you scared of appearing for IELTS? Is any of the module of IELTS, be it reading, listening, writing or speaking, taking your dreams away from you? Have you given up? Are you depressed about your low scores? Or are you just scared of appearing for IELTS? Do not worry. I am here. I at IELTS platform will provide you that platform that will make you appear for your IELTS and clear it in one go. So let us take you all to the journey of IELTS. IELTS. What IELTS means? IELTS stands for International English Language Testing System. When you go abroad, there is a language that is English. As we all know, it is a global language spoken universally. So whenever you're going abroad, either for immigration or for academic, that is study purposes, you need to know a basic language. You need to know a basic language that can help you sail through your journey very easily. If you are studying, your entire curriculum is going to be in English. If you are going to work, if you are going to stay there, you will have to have a common language of communication with the people. And what the language is? That is English. That is why this International English Language Testing System is conducting IELTS examination. Why? Let's see. This exam is jointly conducted by British Council and IDP of Australia. Now let us see why IELTS. Because it is a mandatory test. If you want to settle permanently, if you want to go abroad, that is, you appear for the exam of general training. And if you wish to study abroad, if you want to further your horizons, if you want to have a global exposure to knowledge, you can study overseas, and for that you appear for the exam of academic coaching. That is, GT and AC are the two types of examinations that you can appear for to go abroad. Okay, so very important thing that we need to know is there are two ways that now IELTS is conducted. First is the traditional IELTS, that is, you appear for the exam, you write your reading, listening and reading on a paper. You attempt your answers on the paper and speaking is an interview. But the new pattern, that is CD, means computer driven IELTS. You appear for your reading, writing and listening in a computer based system. You enter all your answers over the computer. And speaking is same. It is an interview where there is an examiner and it is you who is going to appear for the speaking. So how traditional and computer driven IELTS are different? Of course, the first and the foremost difference is of course of the presence of computer, and the second difference which we as examiners, which we as IELTS trainers have seen is that the chance of being biased, of being partial to some extent is relieved totally. There is no partiality at all in computer driven IELTS, as your paper, your answers are being checked by an online system which is free from any bias. So let's see what all things are consisted in IELTS. So there are 4 parts to IELTS that are reading. First part is reading. It consists of 40 questions which you have to do in 60 minutes, means 1.5 minutes for each question of yours. That is more than enough. Next part is your listening, which has 40 questions and it is for 35 to 40 minutes. Next is writing. There are 2 tasks to writing, task 1 and task 2, which totally give you 60 minutes to write it. And final is your speaking, which is a 15 to 20 minute interview in which there is an examiner and it is you. So let us have them all in detail now. So let us see what all parts are consisted in your reading. Let's see. So reading is unseen comprehensions. All of you must have done your 12th class for sure, and if any of you is appearing after 10th, then you must have had an English paper in which you have unseen comprehensions. The only difference is the level of difficulty. In case of IELTS, there is a bit of difficult level as compared to your school level. So there are unseen comprehensions in 3 parts which have 40 questions. And one more thing of difference is that there is a different reading for academic IELTS and there is a different reading for general IELTS. It is generally said that reading of general IELTS is simple, but the thing is that if the reading of general IELTS is simple, you need to have more correct answers to get a higher score. Whereas for academic coaching, that is to study abroad, the level of reading is difficult, hence you can score less and still your band score can be higher. So let's see what are the other things to note. Yes, it is very important that I tell each and every student of mine, and I want to tell all my viewers too. We have space provided for answers, and most of the students tend to write answers in the spaces and not on the answer sheet. Yes, there is an answer sheet provided to transfer your answers, to write down your answers. So what students do is they start writing their answers on the spaces provided in the question paper and not on the answer sheet, which I do not recommend at all and which you should not practice. Why? Because it is taking your time. You will first of all write your answers on the question papers and then on the answer sheet. Sometimes you are not left with time. It has happened with many students of mine. They have attempted all the 40 questions, but they could only write 10 to 15 answers on their answer sheet. And even if all your answers are correct on the question paper, they will not be checked. Although your question papers will be handed over to the examiner, still your answers on the question paper will not be checked. Your answers only on the answer sheet that they have provided will be checked. So simultaneously, when you locate the answer, keep your answer sheet with you. Just keep transferring the answers. Do remember, answer on the answer sheet in case of reading. Okay, now let's move on to the next part, that is listening. As you can understand, as you can yourself imagine what listening is, it is all based on your audio skills. How well are you able to understand the English that is spoken by 2 or 3 people who are in conversation with each other? The conversations can be related to anything. It can be a conversation between family members, between a group of friends. It can be a news report by a news reporter, or any conversation that we see around, that we hear around in our daily lives, but we just tend to ignore. So there are, let's see what are the things in listening. There are some things to specifically see in listening. So the first and the foremost thing is there are audios that range from easy to difficult level, which are divided in 4 parts. So what is this easy to difficult level? Let's see. Easy level is when you are attempting the first part, the speed with which the conversation is being done, the accent in which the conversation is being done, all are simple and you are very easily able to understand what is being spoken, what the conversation is being going on about. So you can very well understand what the conversation is going on in initial parts, but as you proceed to part 2, part 3 and finally to part 4, the level will be difficult. How the speed will increase, the accent will be different, the accent will be quite fluid, will be quite a lot in flow, that it will become a bit difficult for you to understand. Those who are not non-native to English language, they may have more difficulty understanding, but with practice you can always excel. So in case of listening, the level is ranging from basic, that is from easy to difficult level. Now the next point to notice is very important. You get 10 minutes of extra time. Mention it. Mark it. 10 minutes to transfer your answers onto the answer sheet. Now what is this thing? There wasn't any such thing in case of reading. That 60-minute times which you were getting was inclusive of transferring your answers. But it is not so in case of listening. Why? You are listening, you are transferring answers. You may write down any misspelling wrong in hurry. You may make any grammatical mistake in hurry. So they give you 10 minutes of extra time to transfer your answers onto the answer sheet. And what does it mean? Let's see. It very clearly means just opposite to what I said in case of you to reading. That is, you have to write your answers on question paper provided spaces first. There are spaces onto your question paper, so you have got to write your answers there only. Do not write your answers directly on the answer sheet in case of listening. Mark it. In case of listening, do not write your answers on answer sheet directly. Write them on the spaces which are provided in your question paper. Why? Because they are providing you 10 minutes extra time, my dear, to transfer your answers. So, first of all, write down your answers on the spaces provided in the question paper and then transfer them on the answer sheet. Be very careful with the spellings, be very careful with the grammar, because in case of your listening, your marks will be deducted for wrong spelling, your marks will be deducted for the wrong grammar. Now let's move on to the next part, and that is writing. Writing, yes, you have to write. So let's see what you write. Writing, as I told you while giving you intro about the 4 parts to IELTS, is divided in 2 parts. So the first part is task 1. That is for academic coaching, the students appearing for going abroad on the basis of studies. Those who want to pursue higher studies abroad, they appear for academic coaching and they get a graph. Those who have done economics, those who are from economics background, those who have had maths. Of course, most of the students have maths till 10th class. So for those students, they must be aware of what graph is. You have flow charts, you have pie diagrams, you have bar graphs, line graphs, tables, and there are some other diagrams such as picture descriptions and map. So they'll be given to you and you have got to write a report. You have got to write a report about it in 20 minutes. That we say 20 minutes, it can take 10 minutes, it can take 15 minutes, but we give you overall 20 minutes. They do not divide the minutes, they give you total of 60 minutes. We say that write it in 20 minutes and you have to write 150 to 180 words. Next, for the students who want to do jobs abroad, who want to permanently settle abroad, who want to enjoy the benefits of permanent residents of abroad, they appear for the general training, as I told you in my very first slide, and they have got to write a letter. Of course, all of us have written letter, if not many times, then at least 1 or 2 times in our lives. So same are the letters, formal letters, informal letters. You write to your friends or family members, or you write some official letters, right? So for that you have 20 minutes again, and you have to write it in 150 to 180 words. How it is to be written, that is on me. Next, task 2. It is same whether an academic student is going, whether you are appearing for the general lives, both have to appear for task 2, that is essay. It is of course freehand writing, a topic on which you have to express your views, what you feel, what your knowledge is about the topic, and you have to do it in 250 to 280 words, and you get 40 minutes of time. Writing total is for 60 minutes. We take 20 minutes for graph that or letter, that is task 1, and 40 minutes hard time, because there are more words to be written, more to be thought. So 40 minutes for your task 2. Now the last part is speaking. The very first thing to remember is that the speaking exam is conducted on a different day. It can be a day before, 2 days before, or a week before, and it can be a day after, 2 days after, or a week after. What prior or after? Prior or after to your reading, listening and writing exam. Speaking is not conducted on the same day, right? So speaking will be conducted on a different day. So let's see what are the things to speaking. Speaking is in 3 parts, and the very first part is introductory questions. Introductory, of course, they're going to have your introduction, they want to know your name, they want to know where you are from. So things like that, basic things involving you, revolving around you would be asked to you. The next part is the long part, that is the cue part. Now, why is it called cue part? Because there are some cues. What are the cues? They are the hints. There is a topic given to you on which you have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Try to speak for 2 minutes. So on that topic, they'll be providing you some hints, like in how you can prepare the topic, and they will be giving you 1 minute time to prepare, and after that time of yours to prepare is over, they will ask you to speak, and you can speak on the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. And they also give you a pen and a paper to write down any points if you want to write. It is up to you if you want to write something or if you do not want to write something. The last part of speaking is the follow-up questions. You have spoken something, so they want to drill you out, they want to extract your information, they want to test your English language knowledge. So how will they do that? You can tell about yourself. I think all of us can tell, right? So that is bit easy. Introductory part. Cue part. The topics are simple. We can prepare them also. Like there are some topics we know, we have spoken about them in our life. So topics are general, related to our routine life. We can speak about that. So how will they extract our knowledge about English language? How can they confuse us? How would they know if the person is really a knower of English language? They do so by follow-up questions. They ask you topics related to your cue card. That is your real test of English. So that is all about IELTS. This is how the examination of IELTS is conducted. These are all the 4 parts to IELTS, and these are the parts, each part in which you have got to prove yourself that you can do well in English. So I'll be telling you about different things in next videos of mine. I'll be uploading videos soon, and I'll be helping you with your writing and speaking module. For any queries, feel free to post your comments. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.